All right. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I appreciate you guys for joining us this evening. I am here just speaking to someone who is phenomenal. I actually was just introduced to him a couple weeks ago, and I was just amazed at his passion for helping people to really tap into who they are, because that's, in my opinion, I feel where true healing begins and true self mastery begins in knowing who we are and knowing how to adjust things and move and flow energetically and spiritually. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to come on and say hello. And those of you that are here for the replay, say hello, do hashtag replay. Let me know you're here. Make sure you post your questions. Make sure you make comments. Those of you that are on, please go ahead and share this, please, because this is going to be really, really good. You know, sometimes we get a little deep, and I know, some of y'all may not be ready, but it's going to get deep, because a lot of times when you have to look at yourself and look in the mirror, it's not always easy, but it's so worth it and it's so necessary. And once you learn these tools to master yourself, it becomes habitual and you just become greater. You improve yourself all the way around, and it becomes easier. And it's not so, stressful having to kind of do some work on yourself, but it's so necessary. And so that's why I'm here. I know you guys all know me primarily for so many years of doing business coaching. But as I've mentioned so many times, it's hard for some people to implement and move forward on particular strategies and techniques and tools because they have these inner blocks and they don't know what they are. And so Derek is here. Yay. And he's going to talk to us. And he's a shaman, and he's going to talk to us. He has many titles. He's an amazing man, and he's going to help us help us know how to remove the blocks by tapping into our inner blocks. So Derek, please welcome, introduce yourself, and let everyone know who you are. Just give us a little background about who you are so people understand who they're listening to right now.
Okay, sure thing, sure thing. My pleasure. First, I want to say thank you for even bringing me on, so I can share my story and share my philosophies and ideas that help people better themselves. To give you a brief overview of who I am Derek Taylor. I go by Shaman Ra, which was the name that was given to me through spirit, and it's also part of my middle name. My middle name is Ramat, and Ramat stands for mercy, and it's it's a word from the Persian language. So Derek stands for leader of the people, and Ramat stands for mercy. So I go by the name of Shaman Ra, and I lead through mercy, and I lead through unconditional love. So that's kind of who I am and what I do, and I've been doing that for probably about 10 years. It took me a while to understand and to be confident enough to actually reach out and help people through my studies. And what kind of like my career path, I'll back up, start off 25 years ago, I was a professional athlete and got into actual fitness training, athletic training for athletes, and then turned that into a business where I went into corporations. I did things, worked for some Fortune 500 companies for about 8 years, then moved from there into the private sector and opened up my own gym and opened up several of them, doing personal training, personal fitness, more of the intimate level, so that people could actually receive the results. So my whole thing was, if I was going to do something for somebody, I was going to do it and make them be successful or help them to become successful. I started off in fitness for 25 years and still am in it somewhat, but I've married the two between fitness and spiritual understanding. And what I found was, for 25 years of teaching fitness, there's one component that makes us come into self-mastery and to understand who we are. And that's practice. If you're doing any type of things when it comes to fitness, you have to consistently do them. Everything has to be consistent. So you can't start by setting a goal in fitness where I want to have a body to look like this, or I want to feel this certain way, or I want to maybe lower my blood values or make myself come into a more healthy state, unless I practice. I have to put things into work. I have to put knowledge into practice, which becomes wisdom. So being in fitness for 25 years, it taught me how to be very consistent and working with people time and time again to get them to repetitively do things. I found out that I was more in the spiritual realm and had a spiritual understanding because I was able to change people's bodies exponentially fast. And what was happening, I would get downloads as I was working with people, and I would get a message saying, do this type of exercise, put this type of program together. This person needs to eat this type of food. I never knew what I was doing, never knew what was happening. All I knew was it was working. So I kept doing it. I mastered the art of changing somebody physically. And as I started probably 15 years ago to tap into who I am, to master myself, I started to transition slowly into a life coach, counselor, spiritual advisor for people to now transform not only the exterior, but the interior as well. So that's how Ira and I met, was through a mutual friend that I was actually working with and teaching them concepts of meditation and self-mastery. So that's how we are, how we've gotten here today. And that's a brief history about me. I started off in fitness, which taught me the concepts of consistency and how to put things into practice. I moved from that field into life coaching and spirituality, spiritual advising. And that brought me into the understanding or ability to teach people to change the inside as well as the outside by using a simple formula that I've been using for the physical body. So it's just basically taking that formula and you can apply it to anything in your life, whether it be something that's a fitness goal, a mental goal, a spiritual goal, anything in clearing emotions, all that stuff. It's a very simple formula that I'm going to be working with to teach you how to put things into practice. So
now what he's saying, you guys, is, and I don't think I mentioned this, but he's going to be one of our workshop leaders at the Self Mastery Success Summit on October 31st. So you guys are in for a treat, because he shared with me what we're going to be doing. So as I've shared with some of you guys, this may be new information, but the Self Mastery Success Summit and Mastermind is not a conference at all. Like, when you come in the morning, you're going to be shocked on the environment that I've created. I mean, you'll see, I don't want to give too much of it away, but I just want you to understand that this is workshop based. This is intensive based. Like he said, he's going to be sharing with you guys simple tips that you can take and use in your everyday life with whatever it is you're working on changing, whether it be emotional, whether it be physical, any kind of inner work that you need to do. He's going to share with you these steps. So he's coming in to do an actual workshop. And so I'm excited because sometimes you don't know if your audience is ready for that spiritual inner type of work. But then as I'm going about helping people in business, I'm like, this is what they're missing. This is what they're missing. So can you go dive a little bit deeper into your practice and the processes that you use, or even the steps on removing some of these blocks?
Sure. What you're saying is exactly right when it comes to business. People don't understand how to mix spirituality and business, but you got to understand we're made up of the mind, body, and the spirit. So when one of those is out of harmony, or if something is in discord, then we can't move forward. We can't get past blocks. It's because we don't have the energy to actually see them, or we don't have the energy to face them, or we don't have the energy to actually dissolve them and move forward. So what we're going to be doing in this summit, or not summit, but in the workshops, I'm going to be teaching you all some simple meditation techniques, and we're actually going to be doing these meditation techniques. Also, in my career, I have become a consulting hypnotist. So I will actually be taking you all through some hypnosis and exercise so that we can actually remove the blocks from within. And as we remove those blocks, you will start to see your life change immediately. That's one thing that I can basically say about my practice, is that when we do subconscious reprogramming, it is instant. It's not something that takes weeks, months for you to actually overcome. Those subconscious programs are changed quickly through hypnosis. So we're going to be going through a brief hypnosis and meditation. So when I'm here at the workshop, we're going to focus on understanding, number one, your breath, how important it is to breathe and what the breath can do for you. Next, we're going to be focusing on how to use your breath to get into a meditative state. It's easily taking yourself into a relaxed state. I'm going to define to you and teach you all about meditation, what meditation is, so that you can leave the workshop and you can actually practice these different things at home. I have two very, very powerful meditations I'm going to leave you guys with that will shift and change your lives. And there's also a 21-day program that goes with that, which includes how to use the meditations. It includes basic foods types of foods to eat to cleanse your body, to bring yourself into a stronger state. And it has some light exercises in there, how to continue to flush and ground yourself. And it's pretty interesting because some people are like, what? The grounding techniques are, some of them are where you put your feet barefooted on the ground or you hug a tree. Very simple things. And they're like, hey, what, hugging a tree or walking barefooted? My people are going to think I'm crazy. Look, let your people think you're crazy.
Exactly.
Because these things will literally remove the things from you that you have no idea that are blocking you. So there's going to be some very special techniques. One of the things that I use is martial arts. I'll use Tai Chi. And what I'll probably end up doing, if we have time, is I'll show you all how to create chi and how to move your chi from one place of your body to another. When you can take your chi and put it into your mind, you can clear your mind automatically. So we'll be using those type techniques to remove blocks, mental blocks, and then we'll be removing emotional blocks. Most people don't understand your blocks come from the mental field, the mental body and the emotional body. Because if you understand how the system works, every experience has a memory, and that memory is what causes us to repeat a certain action. So what we have to do is go in and find those memories, find those emotional keys or triggers. And we have to dissolve those triggers so we can have a smooth emotional flow. Because if we have a strong emotion or an emotional experience that is attached to a situation, and we have strong emotions behind it, that sparks a memory. And when that memory is sparked, we go back into a fight or flight mode, and we actually repeat what we did that as we felt that emotion. So we got to go in and clear some emotions deep. So that means we're going to look at ourselves. When we do self-mastery, I literally take you in, you make a mirror of yourself. And I want you to write down everything about yourself. What's a pro, what's a con, what's a positive and negative, whatever you want to call it. I want you to look at the dirty, the bad, the stuff that you don't ever want to think about who you are, because trust me, everybody has those aspects, and we call those the shadows. So we have to go into those shadows and remove the shadows by putting light on the shadows. So that's what we're going to do in this workshop, is teach you how to put light on your shadows. Then we're going to teach you how to breathe, teach you how to meditate, and I'm going to do some hypnosis. So we're going to cheat a little bit, because the hypnosis is going to actually put you all into a place where you don't have to do any work. I'm going to do all the work for you.
And that's good, because I'm sorry to cut you off, but I've been meditating for about, I don't know, maybe 6 years now. And it took me some time to process. I had to do like what you teach is the guided meditations, which that was my starting point. I know that's what you're going to be doing with the hypnosis part. Is something that I never practiced or got into yet or been in that. So I'm really looking forward to that. Let me ask you this before you go on with these steps and just giving us some of this knowledge. What do you say to people who feel like they got it all together, and that, so there's two people. There's that one person that says, I got it all together, I don't need this kind of work. And then there's the other person that's fearful of this type of work because it's new. What do you have to say to those people?
Very simple. Because you're exactly right. There are people that says, I know it all and I got this already, I'm good. So those people, we'll start with those. If you got everything good, I'm going to say, okay, tell me when's the last time you've had one flawless day in your life. And if you have flawless days back to back to back, then you're good. But if you have adversities that constantly pop up, tell me about them. And if you got adversities, then we got some things to talk about. We got some energy to clear, because guess what? Those adversities that are coming up in your life are things that are pitfalls that are in our own mind from our memory that we're recreating. And a lot of people say, it's okay that I got pitfalls. It's okay that I have adversities, because guess what? I overcome those adversities. All right, great. That's good. If you're overcoming the adversity, that's fine. But how can you eliminate the adversity so you don't have to overcome them? Because trust me, if you're spending time overcoming adversity, you're not spending the time striving forward to build your business or your life to become bliss. Okay? So one thing I teach people is you can't strive if you're surviving. So understand that. If you're in a state of survival, you cannot strive. You cannot move forward. You're basically trying to grasp air. And this is crazy. In our society, we have been glorified for those that can survive. We glorify those that go through all these battles, and we make it so that we should continue to go through battles. Well, if you continue to go through battles, you ain't never going to win the war.
Wow. That's good.
Think about it. So that's how I deal with those people. I just show them that, hey, your life is not as blissful as you think. And I show them different things. I can ask you one or two questions, and God has given me the gift of intuitiveness, and so I can tap in as an empath. I can feel your energy, and I literally will use my energy to work and bound with yours. And when I do that, you'll feel the frequency of pure unconditional love that comes through me. And that's how I work with the other group. Going right into it. How do I get somebody who's afraid to do this? I sit in front of you, I look in your eyes, and I show you pure unconditional love of the Creator. What I believe in is one God, one source. I don't discriminate. Whatever God you want to call them, whatever or source or whatever religion, whatever creed you are, that is your path. And I am no one to ever step in and judge your path. That's not my job. What I'm here to do is help you to use your path that you're on to find your highest life. So I use unconditional love for any and everybody. And I show you that. Now, sometimes the unconditional love can get a little tough when you try to resist and say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to see the bad parts about myself. I don't want to see these shadows. That is purely your ego. So when your ego begins to raise up and show itself to me, I basically show you where your ego is coming in. And sometimes that can be a little harsh on the heart because you're going to feel what I'm telling you, because I'm going to hit you right with the truth. And so many of us run from the truth about ourselves. It's amazing. And we've learned how to, again, be living in this glorified battlefield that I don't live in my truth. So I can constantly fight through situations and I can grind and I can push. Well, when we use in spirit, baby, we won't have to push. Everything flows. Ooh. So that's what I'm you guys, how to make it flow and how to make it as simple as possible. Because as human beings, we were put here and we were designed to be pure human beings, to be in the perfection of light, to make things come to us in grace. That was our original creation, our original point of creation. That is in our DNA. So if I can help you to go deep into that DNA through any modality, through any means, whether it be hypnosis, whether it be me putting my hands on you, whether it be speaking Hebrew and saying prayers to unlock certain pathways in your mind, whether it's using sacred geometry, meditation, or hypnosis, any of those modalities, whatever I have to do, I'm going to tap into that to unlock each person. And I will guarantee you, you will have a spiritual shift after you leave that workshop with me. I promise everybody that.
I am so excited. Okay, so I'll be in Atlanta next week. So, you and I need to do a session together.
Well, you need to come get a one-on-one session.
I will. I'll let you know when I'm there because I need this right now.
Definitely. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm really, because I feel like I have some blockage as well. Just some stuff. Just some. You know how we can feel it. We can feel it before it starts to manifest externally. Right. Feel it internally first. And so I'm like, okay, I want to work on removing those blockages. So how can this type of work transform people, like going through these processes and practices? Because self-mastery, like you said, is a practice. Is something you have to work on every day. So
how can these modalities help? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Answer the question. You got it.
Okay. Let's see. How does these modalities, what these modalities do is open energy systems. So if you understand the body, you have 7 main chakras. And I say main chakras because you're way more than 7 chakras.
Way more.
There's actually 12 chakras in the body.
Yeah.
So what we do is we use the 7 main chakras. If you get those clear, then 9 times out of 10, the 112 are going to actually follow them and they're going to unblock. However, chakras will unblock, but they can block again. It's just like anything. If you don't continue to eat healthy, your blood values will continue or will go back and plummet to where they were, or your weight will start to creep and go back up. So whatever you do, you have to continuously practice. So what I do is teach the simple meditations. I give guided meditations for people. 2 of the main ones that I use are, one is called I Am and the other is called Expansion. Between those 2 meditations, they can be very transformative for your life. And the other one is a chakra balancing. So that's one thing we will be doing is balancing the chakras, clearing the chakras. And I will be tapping you into your higher self, which is the I am presence. And in Hebrew, it's Aya Esha Aya is what I will bring you into, the I am that I am. Okay. So those are the things that I do. And I teach you how to do simple things, 5 minutes a day, to pretty much keep yourself in alignment, so that when you come into that alignment, when you open all those energy systems, your energy just flows and you start to think creatively. And you start to allow your energy to rise and your vibration to go higher. As your vibration goes higher, you no longer have to work for things. You just literally draw things into your own environment and you pick and choose what you want. So that's what the process and the practice it does. It illuminates you so that your light shines so brightly that people see it and they come to you, or situations come to you. So I want to teach you how to bring it to you, because once you learn how to flow, once you learn how to be very easy and get things with grace versus having to push and strive and fight so hard, because that is purely the conscious mind. That's the ego. That is your lower self that teaches you to push and drive and push, push, push. And again, we're glorified so much from this push. It's ridiculous, but we don't need that push anymore. But I will say this: if you're in a position where your soul is not mature enough to move into a flow and you have to push, I will teach you how to push, push, push to the point where the push becomes so natural for you that you have to elevate to the next stage, which is a flow. So sometimes we have to go through stages and we have to respect everybody's spirit and where they are in their path or when they're in their journey. So you have to sometimes go through a mundane state and you have to max that mundane state out to the point where it's no longer needed and it doesn't work anymore. Just like with me, fitness was a part of my life for 25 years. For the first 15 years, that was all it was. But it got to the point where fitness was like, man, this is boring. I'm changing bodies in 30 days. This is just ridiculous. What can I do more? How can I change somebody's mind? And I saw as people change their bodies, their attitudes change. So I was like, wait a minute, body change, attitude changes, mind, body. All right, there's the third component of this, there's spirit. So if I get the mind, body, and spirit, I don't see the wavering. I don't see the teeter-totter. I don't see success to regress, success and regress. And you see the success in the mental, and you see the regression in the mental when they go back to the old state. So how can I fix it from the core? So I start with the spirit. You train the spirit, or if you train, you train the mind, you prime the spirit, the body always follows.
Yeah.
So if you approach it from the mind, the spirit, and then allow the body to follow, you're in a much better place. Or you can go spirit, mind, and body, however you want to look at it. But what you want to do is combine the three. So the techniques I'll teach you is going to teach you how to combine the three, to practice them on a regular basis so that you can stay in an elevated state, so you can continue to thrive and forget the survival stuff. You know, take that badge off, throw it away. That one that says, I should keep pushing and fighting. Leave it alone. Flow.
I love that. You are speaking my language all up and down, because I had to go through this years ago, years ago, and I am in this place of flowing and everything in my business, my relationship. It's like I'm attracting things to me because I'm flowing.
Exactly.
I'm in a place of wanting to control. I'm creating things and manifesting. So I totally, y'all, I'm telling you guys, I'm excited for you to come and share this with, because for a lot of people, they hear about it, but they haven't experienced it.
Right.
And for me, it literally changed my complete life. For me first, it's all depends on you, how you look at it, but spirit, mind, and body, and so I'm just grateful that you're coming. What type of results have your clients seen? Like, just give us some examples of some manifestations or transformations they've seen in their lives as a result of doing these practices.
Wow. Oh boy, so many. I mean, it ranges. Let me. It's weird you asked that. The other day, I got a text from one of my people who was having some issues with her health. And let me pull this up. I can read this text to you guys real quick, because it was pretty amazing to see, and it actually kind of caught me off guard, because she texted me early on a Sunday morning, and I was like, wow, what's going on? I hope something's not going bad. So this is from a meditation. So I have many meditations. As a matter of fact, usually on Wednesday nights, my significant other and I, we actually do sound bath healings, and she's a singer. Fortunately, she's going on tour, getting ready for tour right now. So she is, we have to kind of postpone our Wednesday nights, but we're trying to figure something out so we can continue doing it. But this is just a meditation.
You share who she's going on tour with, or no?
Yeah, she's one of the sings with Fantasia.
Oh, awesome. Love Fantasia.
Yeah. Yep. And I think they're performing here in right before the workshop. So I think she'll be in town one of those days. I think she's coming back. So you'll get to meet her. She'll definitely be with me. But she is a life partner of mine, and she really helps out. Her voice is incredible. So as I'm guiding people through meditation, she sings mantras, and then she changes the tones and rhythms. And as I'll play a tongue drum or a hand pan, we take you into a deep meditative space through sound. Is what it is. But this is what one of the people shared with. She says, "I love this healing meditation. The first night my body launched upward, and I coughed heavily at the part towards the end where it says, 'I am healed.' I began to expel mucus from my chest easily and intermittently for about an hour. I could feel the lightness and cleanliness in my body afterwards. I was in a state of allowing, so I felt it normal and right and right. She said, so I felt normal and right, not unbelievable. And today her intention is to allow and to release, just allow and to release. So that's something I teach people. So this is just a meditation. Within an hour, she started to expel mucus from a chronic disease that she suffers from. So this is many different things. When you add light to the body, there's amazing things that can happen just from the tones and sounds that I make through my voice. So that's one thing. But I've had people literally looking for marriage counselors, and I'm doing a consultation with them. I'm talking to them, and I'm saying a prayer over them, and all of a sudden the phone starts ringing as we're sitting there, and the counselor calls them and says, "Okay, we finally got you a space to come in so you all can fix your marriage." I've had people for finances and businessmen come in and says, "I'm stuck. I can't get this." One guy was out of a job. Before we finished the spiritual healing and clearing, he had 3 phone calls with different job positions coming for him. When I've done cutting cords from people to remove people from their lives that no longer serve them, the energy is cut, the cord is cut. You send massive amounts of love to these people. And when you send this massive amount of love, literally people will start calling or texting within hours of the sessions, because what they do is when you cut a cord from someone, they feel the disconnection and they reach out. The key is just ignore the reaching out, because the reaching out is just a sign of them feeling the disconnect. So that's when you know it's worked. I've had people, what's that?
I said, yep, that's when you know it's working. The cord is cut.
Yeah. Oh, no, I had a delay on that. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
So I've had people
agreeing with you.
Okay. Yeah, good deal. Good deal. So I've had people that are looking for opportunities. I've had people that come to me before competitions. I remember I was working on this one guy, and I balance his energy. And when I say I need to say we, because it's me and the source. I'm just a vessel this worked through. So as the source was working through me, his energy balanced, and he actually won his competition. And that year he had his best competing year ever. I've had athletes that have broken bones and they've healed exponentially fast. I've had other things where I have a team of people that work with me, and we'll do chants, and the chants will literally remove darkness from somebody's body, and you can actually scan them and see on an ultrasound the darkness leaving, the masses leaving their body. Wow. So it's just very powerful things. Certain things I'm very careful about what I share. But if you ever sit down with me in person, I'll give you plenty of stories.
Wow. That's good. That's good information, because I think people need to know the power in what you do and the work that you do. Just in hearing from the person that introduced us and what they're going through in their lives. And, so I truly believe in the power of all of what you do. So I want to go ahead and see if anybody has any questions. They're saying, love it. They're tagging people to come on. Make sure you guys share this to your pages. Powerful message. Thanks, guys. I have so many blockages. I so need that. I know I have so many blockages. You can't strive if you are surviving. Yes. Light on it. Yes. Any questions, you guys? You guys have any questions that you would like to ask, or any comments you want to share before we end this amazing session? While you guys are writing your questions, I want to remind you all to go to my website, arisquires.com, and make sure that you guys apply to come to this event. This event is not necessarily where you can just go and buy a ticket, because we really want to talk to everybody who's attending and just get a feel for you and what you need to make sure that this summit, workshop, mastermind is the best fit for you. So far, we've not really turned many people away. It's just, we feel if your energy is attracting you to this self-mastery summit, if this is something new for you, you gotten all the business training, you gotten all this stuff, but when are you going to work on yourself? When are you really going to work on yourself? So this self-mastery success summit is the time to start doing that and learning these practices that we're going to be teaching you: self-mastery, healing your chakras, and leadership, and of course business and manifestation and self-improvement, and all of these things that it takes to really make change, real change, and significant change, and how to sustain it for the rest of our lives is what's really, really important to me, because my life has changed as a result of everything I'm going to be sharing with you guys at this Self-Mastery Success Summit. Everything I'm sharing with you guys, I have utilized in my own life and has made drastic changes in my life. So go to my website, please, you guys, and apply. We're only a few weeks out. It's October 31st. Don't make any plans for Halloween. We're gonna be working on ourselves on October 31st. It's a full day from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. There's lots in store. Again, it's not a conference, so it won't be people just coming up on stage and just teaching and just talking and sharing inspirational, motivational speeches all day. It's not that. We're really going to be working on ourselves and really be getting some plans and putting some things in place. So she said, yes, the flesh and spirit must coexist together. Yes, sustain. That's powerful. Okay, so any questions? I don't believe anybody has any questions. So let me just have you just send us off with the final word, maybe why people should attend, or just anything you want to just end with that you feel led to share.
Okay, sure. I appreciate that. I want everybody to just remember one thing. Through unconditional love and through the power of your mind, anything can be achieved. As a human being, you are a limitless being. It's just, you have to remember how to tap into that. And this workshop, this summit will allow you to do that. When you master yourself, you master your world. And when you master your world, you master everything that comes to you and goes out of you. So tonight, I want everybody to look deep inside yourself and look and see who you are and appreciate and unconditionally love that person. And if you have some flaws that need to be fixed, love those flaws to the point that you can actually take your time to fix them. Because if you never recognize, you can never love yourself unconditionally, you can't fix yourself. So please join this summit, join this workshop, because you will definitely learn how to master yourself on a spiritual level, a physical level, and a mental level. And that's pretty much all I have to say. If anybody ever wants to hear I have a lot of my people listen to my meditation the night before they go to sleep. If you want to hear 2 of the meditations, the I Am Expansion, they are on YouTube, and it's under the Oracle's Touch page, which is ORACLES TOUCH, and that's Oracle's Touch page, and you can listen to those meditations. I just opened the page and kind of started putting stuff on it, but those are 2 very powerful meditations if you like to listen to a guided meditation.
Yes, I will be listening to that this evening or tomorrow morning.
Good deal. And I have many.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, I did tag your page. So everybody, please, after you get through listening to this, go and click on the Oracle's Touch link. Go like the page. Go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Follow him on Instagram. All of that stuff. Because if you really, really want some things that are going to make significant changes in your life, you got to do something different. You got to take some action. So I thank you so much. Now, you say you go by Shaman Ra. Is that correct? Am I saying that right?
Yes, Shaman Ra. Yes, you are. That is correct.
Thank you so much for joining me, and I am definitely going to be in touch with you so we can have a one-on-one session before the event. And thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I thank all you guys for listening. Love you all.
You guys have a good night. We'll see you soon.